Howdy, Dr. George Valdez here, dropping a quick video to help people figure out what's going on at this moment with the virus, what we need to worry about, what we don't need to worry about. My main intention is to address the people out there. I'm especially looking at you, my dear senior living staff members who haven't been vaccinated yet, but hopefully everyone can learn a few things. I'm going to talk pretty briefly because I have a short attention span and I know you have better things to do. But feel free to ask detailed questions in the comments below, and I'm happy to shoot another video to address those questions and more details and even reach out to you personally. Just a recap about the virus. This virus is new to humans. Maybe it comes from a bat or a lab, it doesn't matter, but it got out. And it's a real thing, and for some people, it's real bad. Some viruses cause diarrhea, some cause cold symptoms, some cause rashes, polio causes paralysis, Ebola causes bleeding, COVID virus causes clotting. When you hear about COVID pneumonia, it's not regular pneumonia. People aren't coughing out gobs of mucus. This pneumonia is a bunch of tiny blood clots. The cough that you get is a dry cough, and it's from teeny tiny blood clots. Many people are aware I spent all of April 2020 on oxygen support. When the virus came around, I thought I'm pretty young and I'm in pretty good shape. I could bike for 15 miles and not feel it. The first week it was 103, 104 fevers, feeling miserable and flu-like, but I'm pretty tough. And I thought I was getting better. After a week, things got very blurry and my oxygen started diving down to the low 80s. Months later, I could move air normally, but I still don't absorb normally because of blood clot damage in my lungs. It's the battlefield from the war. Over a year later, I'm still not the same person I was before the virus. I have good energy, but I don't build muscle the way I used to, and I recover much longer than I used to. I promise you, I know my body very well and I push it very hard. You hear about this mysterious long-haul COVID stuff. I'm a microbiologist by training. I promise you, 2 years from now, after they do experiments on animals and look at the damage under a microscope, we're going to find structural damage from tiny blood clots in different areas of different people's bodies. And yet some people do fine. Some very old people with lots of conditions have absolutely no symptoms or problems with it. Another tricky part about this virus is that it spreads so easily by carriers who don't have symptoms. Somebody with measles and chicken pox, their face is full of spots and you're going to avoid that person, but this is much more sneaky. This brings us to the Delta variant. The Delta variant is simple evolution. The virus entered into the human population to reproduce and perpetuate itself. The stronger humans fought off the virus, and then the humans came up with vaccines to fight the virus. The numbers started going down steadily in places where the vaccine was widely accepted. The vaccine is extremely effective at protecting people from hospitalization and death, especially with the original strain. The original strain seemed to hit mostly older people and jackasses like me, but people 30 and below seemed to do quite well. Some people 30 and below got the vaccine to protect the elderly, but many understandably felt this is not something that's going to hurt them, and this vaccine is new and experimental, so why bother? Now is the time to bother. The Delta variant is more sticky, it spreads more easily to more people, and this variant is hitting the young people just like it did the old people. Our hospitals are overfull right now with the unvaccinated younger people. It's not real till it's real. I have seen this scenario play out over and over. Nobody knows how bad it is until it's real bad and it's too late. I signed way too many death certificates last year. In the elderly population, about half of the deaths were from the virus and the other half or from people that declined due to lack of physical activity and social connection. Thankfully, these people were the first to get the vaccine, and now we know it's very protective. The virus recently swept through a local facility, and 12 out of 15 residents turned positive. These are 95, 99, 100, 102-year-olds, the oldest and most frail. The only person who unfortunately passed away was a new resident who wasn't fully vaccinated. So recently the news is talking about breakthrough infections and people that have already been vaccinated that are turning positive. For me, I'm not worried, because those positives, by a long shot, do not end up in the hospital or dying or getting so sick. I almost died from the virus. The doctor who took care of me, Dr. Arahu, died from the virus. But if you see me out in the streets now, give me a hug. The vaccine is effective enough that I'm not going to worry about ending up on oxygen again. So this comes down to, what are we afraid of about the vaccine? Because it's experimental? It's not. The technology has been around for many years. When this virus came around, they simply substituted the DNA information and plugged it into the development of technology. Can the vaccine cause nasty side effects or get into my DNA? I've seen I Am Legend. I know how this goes. Fast zombies, no thank you. The way the Moderna and Pfizer vaccine works is through mRNA technology, which is showing your body basically a YouTube video for when you encounter an apple, how to turn it into an apple pie. It's teaching your body how to perform. You're not going to have an apple pie grow out of your arm. We have enough data now from hundreds of millions of people that the vaccine is pretty darn safe. Is it 100%? No, but nothing is. The safety is similar to every other vaccine out there, which is pretty darn safe. We have pretty much eliminated smallpox and polio from humans because everybody decided to get vaccinated, and we no longer have to suffer and die from them. We almost eliminated measles until some goofballs decided to spread misinformation and talk about their freedom, and people stopped vaccinating, and guess what? It came back, and people started suffering again. At this point, I think we've realized this is not a political issue. Pretending the virus cares about your politics doesn't stop the virus. Some people don't want to get the vaccine because they don't want to be told what to do by the powers that be. And I get that. I respect that. The information is scary and confusing, and nobody likes to be told what to do. America is based on we didn't like being told what to do. I hate the flu shot. It makes me sick. Coughing, wheezing, aching, and I hate it. For me, even having the real deal COVID, the vaccine was not that bad. And I promise you, it beats gasping for air and wondering if you'll make it through. It's not real till it's real. There may be laws coming soon that tell you you've got to get a vaccine. There are laws that tell you you have to wear your seatbelt and that you can't drink and drive. Why? Because your choices can affect other people, and if you end up in the hospital, you increase the cost for everyone. Whether you have to or not really doesn't matter. I feel very strongly, earlier this year, the original virus, I wasn't bothering the people about it. Right now, at this moment, hospitals are overflowing with Delta variant, the unvaccinated, and the young people. Get vaccinated for yourself so you don't have to suffer with long-haul COVID like this one, or worse, end up like young people over and over who are saying just before they're intubated they should have got the vaccine. My daughter is a nurse who's working at a hospital nearby. They have people intubated in the emergency room. There are no more hospital beds. They don't have the ability to intubate anyone else. And guess what? Life happens and people go to the hospital for many reasons. But right now, there are no extra hospital beds and the staff is crippled, unable to take care of every other kind of emergency. I don't judge you. for not getting the vaccine or hesitating until this moment, but I feel very strongly at this point, knowing the virus is really bad on younger people, that the vaccine is very effective and very safe for young people, that not getting the vaccine is very much like getting in a car on I-45 without a seatbelt, and there's a whole bunch of drunk drivers out there. I hope I've convinced you to help yourself and get the shot. If you have any questions, please let me know. Let's do it right this time and get rid of this damn virus and get back to normal. Thanks.